Well, hi everybody, and welcome to another edition of Bengal Magazine. And on today's show, we're going to go in the swimming pool, and Nick Stone, the head coach of the Bengals, joins us, along with his record-setting senior Connor Mergler. And then Steve Murphy, head coach of the men's hockey team, joins us. And Steve is bringing along Anthony Passero, his outstanding sophomore from right across the river in Fort Erie, Ontario. And then Jen Wilson on women's hockey, and Jen is bringing along Bri Carroll, the senior from, of all places, Peoria, Arizona. We'll have Bengal bits, and boy wonder, Patrick Smith will be here with Bengal Update. So stay with us. We're going to go in the pool right after this. Well, welcome back, everybody. We're going to go in the swimming pool right now and talk with Connor Mergler, the outstanding sprinter, a senior here, and his head coach, Nick Stone. Guys, thanks for being on the show. Quickly, Nick, a little forecast on both teams, if you will.
Yeah, this year so far it's been going really well. Our men are 3-1, our women are 1-3, but that's with a couple of injuries that a couple of swimmers haven't been able to swim.
Okay.
But looking forward, everyone's getting healthy, and we should be setting up for a really good season. We have our biggest squads in the last few seasons, and so I'm really excited to kind of see where we can take that and have more depth in areas that we haven't had before. So our dual meet schedule definitely gets tougher with this weekend against Cortland, and then moving forward, we have a bunch of SUNYAC meets coming up in January after we come back from training trip.
Okay. I want to focus a little bit on the gentleman next to you, because what we have here is an elite swimmer who has been to the Nationals. I'm going to throw out some statistics. I hope you're humble enough and to allow me. 8 SUNYAC individual titles, 3-time All-American, 2-time SUNYAC Swimmer of the Year. What's next for you, Connor, when you look at this as your wrap-up season? What are you looking to do with this final year?
My final year, I'm looking for a national championship.
Okay, and it's as simple as that, and that is the ultimate goal.
Yes.
I want to ask this in the right way. It's possible?
Yes.
Okay. How do we get there? I mean, we're talking November, and so we have a few months out. What's your mindset as the head coach when you look at this guy? Sure, it's a team sport and there's 30, 35 other swimmers, and you have an elite swimmer next to you. What's the mindset of a head coach as you look at somebody like this?
Well, it actually started in May. We took from last year's Nationals wasn't the result of what we wanted. We were actually looking to kind of place a little bit higher, and even push for maybe a title last year.
8th in the 100 free.
Yep.
Okay.
And so we kind of took away a few things from there for us to kind of plan into the season with technique and everything like that. But the big goal for this summer was to get bigger, stronger in the pool or in the weight room, and then try to transfer it over to the pool as we got in. So this summer he did a great job with hitting PRs and everything from when he was as fast as his sophomore season. He's way ahead of that now. And then this year I talked to a bunch of coaches across the country. It's kind of how they train their sprinters, and it's a lot of event-specific training now. Last year we definitely did some sprinting, but this year we are sprinting. There's a lot of the repeats are a lot longer. They're getting rest and trying to hold that race pace that he's supposed to be holding, so he knows how to feel that. And then setting higher expectations throughout the year. Even until nationals, he doesn't really have much of a race or competition in the pool. And so setting goals for dual meets on what he needs to accomplish to set him up well for the end of the year.
That's interesting. How do you prepare for a meet against Oswego or Cortland or whoever, where the competition, it's there, but you're an elite swimmer? How do you focus in on a particular meet? Is it all about the clock and the time up there?
For me, it's all my mindset. It's all the times I want to go where, like, I can break down at the first turn, I have to be at this time, or I have to take this many strokes, I have to take this many breaths, or if not, no breaths at all, and just kind of get in the mindset of where I have to be and this is what I have to do.
And it's broken down that tight into number of strokes and breaths, et cetera. You have that in your head. The summertime. I mean, if this is an ultimate goal, I'm assuming your summer was a little different, your fall was a little different, swimming-wise. What was different about it as you keep in mind your goal?
Let's just say that the past couple of years, I didn't really take summer training all that serious.
Yeah.
But this year, I was, even every single day, I was in the weight room. I still did my 6 a.m. morning lifts, swims, and I did obviously the stuff after. But I just got into a rhythm of this is where I got to be, this is what I want to do, so I got to put in the work for it.
Mm-hmm. His training, do you find yourself focusing in on him in practices, or is he able to do his training with this goal in mind and not interrupt his teammates or whatever? Does it all kind of blend in together?
It blends in pretty well. Yeah, so the way the schedule is set up, each group's doing something different each day. So then the sprinters are doing something, but he has there's actually a couple other guys that he trains with for the sprint events, and they're doing really well. They train together. They do kind of mostly the same work as everybody else, but I add resistance to them. They'll put a drag socks on or drag suit on, and like it challenges them a little bit more, and their intervals might be a little bit tighter. But overall, they're doing the same work, and it works in pretty seamlessly.
It sounds like there's a wonderful camaraderie with coaches. You had talked about it earlier in the segment that you were talking to other coaches and preparing. Is that, I mean, do you guys share a lot of information, and where do you go to get that information?
Yeah, it was mostly you make connections at our convention every May, and they'll give out, presenters will give out their cell phone numbers or emails, or I can just email someone and ask to take a phone call. But I also have past coaches that I'll call and ask questions on, and kind of different training at methods. I rely on my the Williams head coach to kind of like overall team atmosphere and just some different aspects of it. So
it's interesting. You know, when I think of elite swimmer, I think of Michael Phelps. We all do right now because he's branded himself and he's won all those gold medals. Can you pick up information from him and or his coach? I mean, is it out there for dissemination?
Sometimes there's various swimming websites that will release like a workout or something like that where you can. But if you look at Michael's stroke, you can pick a lot of things. We look at a lot of, right now the top sprinter in the country is Caleb Dressel, and so we look at him and what he's doing. We actually kind of took his start and technique a little bit and added to Connor's start, and it made him much faster into the water and how he's carrying his speed. So you look at race videos and everything too to kind of pick things out.
Fascinating. It's kind of like a basketball team watching its opponent on film and seeing, picking out tendencies. My last question, because 800 free last year, All-American at 8th, 4th and 15, 16 in the 100, and 6th in the 50. What's your favorite stroke, the 50 or the 100, and why?
I always like to say the 50 just because it's the shortest, but I know I'm better at the 100 because, I don't know, there's just something about it where I can get up and I can go.
Yeah.
Where the 50 is everything has to be perfect or your race is screwed up.
Wow. That's fascinating, and it's a fascinating journey to the Nationals right now, and I wish you both the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on the show. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to go inside the ice arena, and Steve Murphy's going to join us. Stay with us.
No matter who you are
or where you're from,
you are welcome here. Tú eres bienvenido.
مرحبا, أهلا وسهلا.
You are welcome here.
You are welcome here.
Hey, my name is Darren Thompson. I'm a sophomore and I play football for the Buffalo State Bengals. My hometown is Buffalo, New York. My dream job, I want to be an NFL player in the future, which is true. So, my favorite book that I like to read is Last Shot, which is a basketball book about athletes. I play football because I want to keep my family together. Something that my teammates don't know about me, I have 2 different ears. As you see, this ear is different from this ear.
Well, congratulations are going out to this week's Athlete of the Week. It's Michael Anthony Guerrero from men's hockey. The sophomore business major had 2 goals in a 9-1 win over Chatham on Friday, and then added 2 more in a 3-0 win over Lebanon Valley the following day. He leads the nation in scoring by a defenseman with 9 points. That's on 4 goals and 5 assists in 5 games this season. So congratulations to Michael Anthony Guerrero from men's hockey. And how about that? We're joined by men's hockey. I was about to say Nick, but it's not. Excuse me. It's Steve Murphy, the head coach of the Bengals, and Steve brings along Anthony Passero, his outstanding sophomore from Fort Erie. And welcome, men. Murph, we've got some games under the belt. Tell me about the makeup of this team. We were talking about off air about 19 underclassmen. Give us a little bit more insight.
Yeah, we're young. I mean, I
Yikes.
don't think there's any secret about that. It's just part of how, taking over and bringing in your own guys, and part of how the past recruiting classes have worked out, where we're just we're very young this year. I think it's it's got its pros and its cons, and there's most certainly learning experiences for a lot of guys, and I think all of our underclassmen are still learning some things, and I think by second semester, though, just having those young, fresh legs hopefully helps us down the stretch.
Well, you may have answered my question. How long does it take for a team like this with this many underclassmen to, as they say, gel, come together? Are you giving yourself a timetable? Okay, we'll get 10 games in and things should start coming along, or how do you look at it from a coaching standpoint?
I mean, from my point, you obviously want it sooner rather than later.
Sure.
Part of there's got to be an urgency there for all those guys to learn our structure and what we're trying to accomplish and where we want to go as fast as possible. But you also have to understand that it does take time, and if it takes 5 games, it takes 5 games.
Right.
If it takes the first semester, it takes the first semester. We really haven't set a timetable on it. It's just trying to get everyone up to speed as quickly as possible.
Absolutely, and you have one of the underclassmen next to you, in Anthony Passero. And are you sensing this too? That first of all, that urgency to we got to get this down as a team and come together. And do you sense it might take a little bit, or it's getting closer?
Yeah, for sure. We got to be urgent. 25 games a year, you don't get that long to really bring it together. So, the first couple weekends were good. Last weekend was good for us to come together, get some confidence. But, you turn around, you're going into Oswego Friday night. So, you got to figure it out pretty quick. There's really no time to just relax and take for granted what you have. So, I think we're young, but, we're not immature. We're 20 to 24 years old, so it's not like we're regular freshmen, which is also a good thing. So I think urgency, we'll find it, but I think like you said, sooner than later, because you only have 25 games and there's not many times.
And it's not like the conference is horrible. This is one of the elite conferences of Division III in the country, and you've got to get going quickly. Or else it gets away from you. And that said, you're 3-1-1 in the early going. It sounds like Debbie Downers here, but the team's playing well, and it is coming together. What do you like most about this team, or have there been any surprises to you right now?
There's a lot of upside that we've seen through the first 2 games, and I think the most exciting part about our team is just the potential that we can have when everything's going to click, and it's going to come. I think it's still just trying to find and hammer home the consistency and the compete out of everybody that a lot of the younger guys and they're learning, but they just need to figure out that it's got to be every single day and at least 9 days out of 10 in order for us to be good. So I think of the 5 games that we've played, I think we've been pretty happy with 3 of the efforts. The one weekend where we didn't get a win, we thought there was maybe a little bit of a letdown, but I think naturally with just a young team, you're going to go through kind of those peaks and those valleys, and it's just trying to flatline that thing sooner or later and stay even keel.
He sees it from behind the bench and on the film. You see it from the bench, but on the ice. Is it going well? Is it coming together quicker than maybe you thought it would?
I'd say it's what we thought it was.
Yeah.
Just being young, even our sophomore class, there's a lot of us there too. We had to take on a different role of being leaders and stepping up too. So that's even different from being freshmen last year.
Absolutely.
You get more time to iron things out last year, where this year you're coming in, you got to be the guys. You got to be, we don't have a junior class, we have one guy. So, and then we have seniors. So,
That's it.
like he said, I think it's exciting to know what we have, and when some guys do find that confidence, like, we could be a pretty scary team. And I mean, it's still early. Some guys may not have found it yet, some quicker, but I mean, it's exciting to see what we can have in the next couple of weeks.
It is exciting, and you know, I look at your record as a head coach. I get excited about what you bring to the table. 2 record-breaking seasons in a row. You guys were as high as 9th last year in the nation, and we're talking about this enormous potential that's there. What can happen? I mean, where do you envision this program this year, next year? I mean, is it continuing to progress into national prominence here?
Ideally, sure, we're going to be back and be one of the top 15 teams in the country and battle for a SUNYAC championship. But I think right now we're a long way off from that. So we've just tried to take this, one game at a time and 1 week at a time, and just trying to get better, every single day. If we do that, then naturally, I think the record and everything else is going to take care of itself. But we're trying not to get caught up too much in, record-breaking seasons and all that other stuff. That's just a credit to how hard the guys have worked the past 2 years. As nothing. Obviously, we implement the structure and the systems and all that stuff. But if they're not working hard and they're not the ones that believe in what we want to accomplish, at the end of the day, then none of that's possible. So a big part of that falls on just the players that we've had come in through the program the past few years and the ones that we have now. So.
Very good, men. I wish you the best of luck before leaving. Murph is 33, 15, and 5 in his 3 years here, 2 full seasons, as we said. So I wish that trend to continue, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thanks, Tom.
We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to stay in the ice arena and talk to Jen Wilson from women's hockey. Stay with us. This is a college that inspires. Here you'll be engaged, strive for excellence, and prepare for a career. Visit our amazing Elmwood Village campus and apply today. You'll achieve your edge here. This place is Buffalo State College.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Bengal Update. I'm Patrick Smith with a recap of news, scores, and a look at upcoming events surrounding Buffalo State athletics. Men's soccer earned an at-large bid into the NCAA Division III tournament for the first time since 1984, but saw its season come to an end with a 2-0 loss to Hobart in the opening round. The loss marked the close of the program's best season in more than 30 years. Buffalo State finished its season 14-3-3, ending 1 win shy of the school record set in 1982. A school record 9 men's soccer players earned All-SUNYAC distinction, including Luke Pavone, Devontae Black, and Andreas Queen, who all captured first-team honors. Head coach Mark Howlett was named SUNYAC Men's Soccer Coach of the Year for returning his Bengals to national prominence. Buffalo State's Victoria Kalati captured All-SUNYAC Women's Soccer honors and became one of just 4 players in school history to be named to the All-SUNYAC team for 4 years of her career. Football wrapped up its 2017 regular season with a 35-14 win over St. John Fisher on Senior Day. Austin Neal rushed for 123 yards on 23 carries and 1 touchdown. Buffalo State was selected to play in the 2017 ECAC Clayton Chapman Bowl against U.S. Merchant Marine Academy on Friday, November 17th at Delaware Stadium on the campus of the University of Delaware. Game and ticket information can be found at buffalostateathletics.com. Buffalo State's men's and women's cross-country teams each concluded their 2017 seasons at the NCAA Atlantic Regional Championship, with the men's team finishing 28th out of 42 and the women's team finishing 27th out of 41. Men's hockey improved to 3-1-1 on the season. Buffalo State recently picked up a 9-1 win over Chatham and a 3-0 win over Lebanon Valley to stay unbeaten on home ice. Michael Anthony Guerrera leads the nation in scoring by a defenseman with 9 points off of 4 goals and 5 assists. The Bengals will return to the ice on Friday, November 17th with a road SUNYAC contest against Oswego. Women's hockey is currently 2-4 in the early season, following a 2-1 win over Oswego to split the weekend series. Bri Carroll leads the Bengals with 1 goal and 2 assists. Freshman goalie Bri Carroll earned NEWHL Rookie of the Week honors by making 25 saves against Oswego. The Bengals return to NEWHL action with a road series against Cortland. First game is Friday, November 17th at 2 p.m. Buffalo State's men's and women's swimming and diving took the week off, but will return to the pool on Saturday, November 18th against Cortland. For Bengal Update, I'm Patrick Smith.
Well, thank you, Patrick, for Bengal Update. And we're joined now by Jen Wilson, the head coach of the women's hockey team here at Buffalo State. And Jen's bringing along Bri Carroll. Welcome, ladies. Well, now, we had you on before, and you were huffing and puffing because you had just joined us, recently named the head coach. That was back in August. And my gosh, there must have been a lot to do before we actually get on the ice. So how did it all go? I'm always curious as to how you prioritize in that sense.
Well, just kind of like how we talk about structured chaos. It's probably the best term. Getting our feet underneath us, getting to know the girls off the ice, and getting to know a bunch of different personalities, a strong senior class, coming in and trying to implement my systems while still trying to meet them kind of halfway, something I kind of prided myself on this year, and wanting to do what's best for the team and still have my hand on it as well.
Very good. We'll talk about those seniors in a moment, but number of games under your belt now, split at Potsdam, split at Oswego, but I'm more curious right now as to, is the makeup of the team what you thought? I mean, you can always watch it on film and kind of go, okay, I see what we have here, but then you've been on the ice with them now, and you know personalities, et cetera. Have things tweaked, changed a little bit? How has the makeup been?
Absolutely. We have a slogan, trust the process. Again, with so many seniors in that class, you're gonna have a pushback a little bit, and we overcame that, and we have, and we're kind of flying now. In the beginning, we were 0-4 to start, and it was a little heartbreaking, I think, a little bit coming off such a successful season.
Sure.
But we were not going to sacrifice wins and losses for culture. We weren't. And so our culture has been instilled now. There's been people moved around in different positions, and some of the people that were key or impact players last year might not have been so much this year. And I think the win against Oswego, we really needed to build us up. We've been out shooting teams. We're having a hard time putting the puck in the back of the net, and I think we've tweaked some things at practice and everything that I think is going to help us out here going forward.
And your forward here is nodding her head. And let me get back to, that's a very interesting comment she said there. It sounded like there was a little tough love in the beginning, and people had to get adjusted. Here you are a senior. Did you have to get adjusted, and how was that little process?
Oh, of course. Like, Mox just had a different mindset, a different view of how we could play as a team, and then having a new set of eyes come in, seeing it a little bit differently, giving us room to be creative and show our skill and not just our speed and work and grind. I think it's kind of made us maybe a bit of a better team.
Okay. And not to say good or bad, likes or dislikes, but you have a different system probably. And so if you were to define that system, what would that system look like? How do you define your system?
I think in the past, what I came into, the girls are really used to just utilizing their speed, go, 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 go. I'm more of a go to the puck where it's going to be, not where it is kind of coach. So it's very structured, almost passive, a little bit passive, because we're thinking about, we're intercepting passes, we're converting on rebounds, and then we are winning our 50-50 battles still. I don't want to slow us down because we are a fast team, but I think in the beginning it was an adjustment. They weren't trusting me, they weren't trusting each other, and we've just kind of come a long way in the past 3 or 4 weeks, and it's working. It is working now.
Yeah, very, very interesting comments. We were talking off air about the statistics from last year. You had a pretty good season, 10, 9, 19 points, but I saw 80 shots, and I thought, wow, is that average? Is it high, low end? And you made an interesting comment that you wanted to raise the number of shots you had. And are you continuing that? And is it a process? How do you go about getting yourself in position for shots?
You just gotta trust your teammates, and you kind of learn where they're gonna go, so you can put yourself in a different position and maybe better the line.
Okay.
It's just kind of just read and react and stick on the ice and
very good.
Hit the puck.
I had mentioned that you're from Arizona, Peoria, and people viewing would say, Peoria? How in gosh name did you come to Buffalo State? And there were a number of things that had to happen, especially in high school, where you were traveling and yet you were also a student. Give us a little synopsis of how your senior year went in high school and how you played hockey out in Arizona.
Well, girls hockey isn't very big in Arizona, so I needed to challenge myself. It was a lower league, and I didn't think that I would get as far as I could with that, so I decided I needed to find elsewhere. So I looked in California, and I found an opportunity to play at an elite team and took it, and then transferred from just a regular public school to online school so I could do that and get this far and come to New York.
Wow. So for the love of hockey, you're taking online courses in high school to be able to fulfill the travel commitments of this hockey team. We've got about a minute left. I'm curious, you do have some games under your belt now. You've seen this team on the ice. What do you like about this team now?
Oh, we're getting ready. The big games are coming. Winning Oswego was a big win for us. The systems are in place, and now it's just really connecting on our passing. Has been a little bit, we're not where we're at yet, but it's early in the season, and that's why we have the games that we have. But Plattsburgh, we're gunning for them. So
there you go, gunning for Plattsburgh, as we always do. Well, ladies, best of luck the rest of the season. Thanks for being on the show. Thanks for coming in from Arizona. We appreciate it. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Bengal Magazine. Thanks to everybody here in Creative Media Services, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks for more Bengal Magazine.